here on South Atlantic Pro Wrestling, unconditional war was declared as the Pit Bulldogs collided with the Fantastics. Bobby and Jackie Fulton got their hands raised in victory. Brother Jackie paid the price, and Rabid Rex and Psychotic Spike extracted their revenge. Today, we'll review the conclusion of that controversial tag team event and get a reaction from the Fantastics. Plus, in the main event, the Rangers in the stud stable as exciting Tommy Seaboat teams with War Eagle Chris Chavis to face the unhappy duo of Big Tex Salanger and the U.S. male Curtis Thompson. Welcome to ringside, ladies and gentlemen. Frank Dusek here with the coach, Gene Ligon, for another hour of wrestling's best, South Atlantic Championship Wrestling. And, Coach, today we hear from a man we hear from on a regular basis, the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller. And he's got a lot to say about that South Atlantic Heavyweight Championship.
I know everybody out there just waiting to hear from the Tennessee stud every week. I just can't wait to hear from the Tennessee stud. Of course, once again, we're going to hear from the Tennessee stud.
That's exactly right. Plus, we'll see the conclusion of that exciting match with the Pit Bulldogs against the Fantastics. And the good news is, Bobby Fulton of the Fantastics is all right. And, of course, the main event today is another tag team thriller, as from the stud stable, Big Tex Salanger and Curtis Thompson, the U.S. male, make an unlikely duo as they face Tommy Seaboat and War Eagle Chris Chavis. And right now, let's go to the ring for our first match.
From Antwerp, Georgia, at 240 pounds, Ranger Ross.
Ranger Ross, the man from Antwerp, Georgia, getting a little instruction from some very enthusiastic fans here in Pendleton, South Carolina. Pendleton High School team, the Shadow of Death Valley. Oh, boy, what a #1 fundraiser this has been, Coach.
An intimidating place to come, that's for sure. Tommy Landell, of course, in there against the one and only, the man everybody talks about, Ranger Ross.
Ranger Ross, of course, a former member of the armed services, and now professional wrestler, and doing extremely well here in South Atlantic Pro Wrestling as he takes on from Hollywood,
Tommy Landell. We're in Hollywood, California. He looks like Hollywood, California.
But whatever, right now they're tied up collar and elbow and back into the ropes. A clean break from Hollywood Tommy Landell. Something that I don't think Tommy Landell likes to do on a regular basis, Coach.
Well, I sure know that the look on Ranger Ross's face was a little bit of confusion there for a minute, because that's not Tommy Landell's mode of operandi.
That was sort of the same look.
As you see, he tried to take a shot at Ranger. Ranger expecting it all the way.
By the way, right off the bat, I want to say I got my very first Christmas card this week.
Well, fantastic, Frank. Who is it from?
A young lady up in Rockwell, North Carolina, Sammy Wagner, who writes quite regularly. And Sammy, by the way, my favorite color is blue, and I'm a Gemini.
Well, that's great. Rockwell, North Carolina, right down the road from my hometown, Salisbury, North Carolina. I went to school at East Rowan. That's right where Rockwell everybody goes to school.
Exactly.
Thank you, Sammy.
Exactly. Thank you. What a pretty card, too, isn't it?
Oh, it's real good.
All right. Well, right now, Ranger Ross in control, controlling the leg of Tommy Landell. Hollywood Tommy Landell. An hour of excitement today, Coach. We get to review that controversial Fuller versus Jones match that held up the South Atlantic Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. I know everybody wants to review that one time. And I know I believe in a fighting champion also, but I believe Paul Jones got ripped off on this.
Well, there's where I have to disagree with you. I think that the belt should be won or lost in the ring and not in the boardroom, but that's why we see two ends of the same coin here. Huh? In any event, though, we will see that and talk a little bit about when that tournament's going to be held. The originally they said sometime late November, early December. There have been several cities vying for the opportunity to host the tournament, and I believe now the date is being set for sometime in late December, trying to add some wrestlers to the tournament. We've gotten a lot of calls from a lot of people, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see who, in fact, does end up in the tournament.
Well, the towns are all trying to get it. I've been talking to several people myself from the Shelby area, Salisbury area. Been talking to Dallas, North Carolina also, and, of course, the Charlotte area. We're always going to look for somewhere. Whoever wants it bad enough, they're going to get it.
Well, that's exactly right. Of course, Pendleton, South Carolina, Coach Mike Nelms in the junior class here, they certainly would have loved to have had it, but they're very, very happy with their fundraiser here today and national TV taping. Also on the card today, we will see the conclusion of the Fantastics versus the Bulldogs from last week. And the good news is, as I said earlier in the show, Jackie Fulton is okay after that hanging at the hands of Rabid Rex and Psychotic Spike.
Well, thank goodness for the hard training that Jackie does in the gym, because his neck was strong enough to take a lot of that punishment. A normal man would have snapped his neck or would have caused a lot of throat damage or, couldn't be able to breathe.
Oh, exactly right. And Ranger Ross using a spinning toe hold to hold that won World Championships for two brothers, Dory Funk Jr. and his brother Terry Funk. Tommy Landell showing one of the few counters for that move, which was a rake in the eyes, and it's Hollywood Tommy Landell suddenly taking over in the man's vernacular.
That's right, some great moves by Tommy. A couple of clotheslines. Ranger Ross Ross is definitely being attacked here. He better come up with some good defense. Another clothesline, 3 in a row. This is the man definitely in trouble. He kicks out. Looks like Tommy's trying to pin him. 1, 2, 3. That's a 2 count right there, Frank.
Right there, Coach, too, as I'm sure you noticed, we saw the mistake made by a young man. In pinning, he did not put his weight on him. He was on his knees, first of all. And secondly, he did not hook the leg. And you're not going to pin Ranger Ross unless you put all your weight on him and hook that leg and take that point.
Yeah, a little too much Hollywood out of Tommy Landell. Of course, now Ranger Ross has recovered. He's got him up. He's showing the crowd the foot. He must be setting him up for that big foot he uses.
What do you call that, a savate kick?
Savate kick, that's right. It's a Swedish form of karate.
Swedish form of karate?
Right?
Oh, well, whatever it is, it just caught Tommy Landell under the chin, Swedish or whatever. 1, 2, 3. It is all over for Tommy Landell. Your winner, Ranger Ross. And we'll be back with Jones versus Fuller.
The program with a stud stable piece I think you people enjoyed very much, because I used to be a happy and gay type of guy. I used to bring a guitar out here and I used to be able to sing you a song and make you like it. I used to tell you stories I know you enjoyed to hear about Tennessee, the greatest state in all of the world. I'm unable to do that right now because I'm in a state of confusion, because I can't keep my belt around my waist. I come in with a Tennessee referee. He's not a Tennessee referee. He's your Carolina referee, South Atlantic referee. Yet right now, he's fired out of this company. He's unable to referee. And you know the reason why? Because Paul Jones is unhappy. And Paul Jones comes from Carolina, not from Tennessee. I'm going to turn you on right now to a little piece of film. I'm going to show you people clearly how I took Paul Jones, beat him 1, 2, 3, and is my belt around my waist? Do you see it around my waist? You don't. Watch this piece of film.
Directed to the DARE program of Rutherford County, helping to educate our kids, drug abuse, resistance, education. Tennessee stud going to work on Paul Jones, in for the ride, reversal, stud into the corner, boom, a crashing right hand, a second right hand, a third right hand, and the Tennessee stud spinning like a top in the middle of the ring. Once again, Leroy Ramsey steps in to physically admonish Paul Jones, and the Tennessee stud taking advantage of the situation. Ramsey again attempting to stop Jones physically, and once again the Tennessee stud coming on, but Paul Jones will hear nothing of it as he continues to come back on the Tennessee stud. A series of right hands into the corner, again crashing into the turnbuckle. And here comes #1 Paul Jones, pride of the Carolinas. Jones reversal, no, double reversal. Oh, elbow in, and Ramsey smashed twice. Referee Leroy Ramsey smashed into the corner, and now elbow to the top of the head. Ramsey outside the ring. We have 2 referees, neither one of which in position to call right now. In the ring, their fist in fire as down goes the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller. And right now it's all Paul Jones, but there's no referee in the ring. Leroy Ramsey down on the floor. Oklahoma hayride, Jones down. No, Fuller down. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. A count of 5 and no referee to make the call. Byron Richards over. Byron Richards over to try to wake up the referee, try to get him back in position. Richards knows he's not the official record. Paul Jones looked like he's setting in for an Indian deathlock. He does. He's got it set. He's got it set. Did you see that? Oh, my goodness. But Leroy Ramsey turned around, saw the Indian deathlock, and just collapsed. I don't believe what I just saw. He turned around, started to get into the ring, saw the Indian deathlock on Robert Fuller, and just collapsed. Fuller screaming, I give, but nobody there to hear it. Paul Jones trying to get his man into the ring. Look out from behind. Oh. He's got him. He's up. His hands are in the rope. Gee, I don't believe what I just saw. Hands in the ropes right in front of the referee, Leroy Ramsey, and he's going to call the pin. No, Byron Richards in the ring. Byron Richards in the ring. They're arguing over the belt. Byron Richards says it shouldn't go. Oh, holy mackerel. The shot heard round the world. Byron Richards has just KO'd the referee, Leroy Ramsey. I'm not sure what's going on. Now the Tennessee stud tried. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm as confused as you are right now. The bell is sounded. The match is over. A pile driver. The stud is down and out. 1, 2, 3. Referee Byron Richards has called a count of 3. He's awarding the match to #1 Paul Jones. Holy mackerel. You see it right here. Boom. There's the right cross. The shot heard around the world. The belt out caught by a fan. And then when all is said and done, Paul Jones, a pile driver, over top. Richards up. He calls the count 1, 2, 3. One man says Robert Fuller won it. The other man says Paul Jones won it. I'm not sure what's going on right now, ladies.
I know you bunch of beer bellies sitting out there eating on your candy bar. You bunch of good-for-nothing Carolinians out there are probably laughing your guts out right now. I hope it makes your jelly bellies come off a little bit, laughing your guts out, because that's all you're going to get out of it. I'm going to make you a promise right now. I ain't got to sing no songs to do it. I ain't got to tell you no stories. I'm just going to make it straight and clear to you. I'm the toughest man that ever crossed the mountains into the state of Carolina. South Carolina or North Carolina, Virginia, any place South Atlantic goes, Robert Fuller, the Tennessee stud, is the man. Now, you may not see the belt around my waist, but I guarantee you this, just as I beat Ricky Steamboat back in Winston-Salem, there's going to be another tournament. It's going to come down. It's going to come down.
Likely duel here. Tex Salanger and Curtis Thompson for a fifth, and see how these two work together after last week.
Well, I noticed there Tex Salanger's trying to give a little instruction to his, I guess his partner, if you want to call it that. After last week, I just don't know how these guys are going to get along. Of course, there's the one and only telling him what to do.
You hear that? You see Salanger saying, I'm going to pin him, and you heard Curtis Thompson. Maybe I'll put him down. That seems to be his favorite statement. Last week, of course, right here, it was a six-man tag team action. These two and the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller. And they couldn't get Curtis Thompson out of the ring. And when they finally did get him out of the ring, Salanger and Fuller both tagged it out and left Thompson out until right at the finish. Thompson did get in, made the pin, refused to tag. Fuller wanted to be the one to gain the glory. So we're going to kind of curious this week to see how this works out.
This ought to be something interesting. Of course, there's a good tie up there.
Collar and elbow. Tommy Seaboat representing Jones's Rangers. The U.S. male Curtis Thompson representing the stud stable.
A pretty clean break. A little pop on the chest. A little intimidation factor there.
We've said it all these times. Curtis Thompson has that different type of personality from the rest of the stud stable. And he doesn't fit in. And time again, he is shown that he doesn't fit in. So, like you say, the stud must have some serious plans for this young man from Newland, North Carolina.
Well, the wrestlers look very colorful today in the pink, and I guess I'll never be caught wearing anything like that.
You or me, the one. Hey, Coach, we want to bring this whole match to the wrestling fans at home in its entirety. All right, now, let's jump in and take a commercial break, and we'll be back with tonight's main event. Attention, members of civic groups, high school booster Gene Legan and War Eagle Chris Chavis in control right now, the U.S. males. As you see him hollering text, wanting to make that tag. Quite a difference from last week, hey, Coach?
That's right. Of course, man's in a little bit of trouble. It's time to tag out, and he's trying to be like a good tag team partner, but Tex backed up a little bit.
I'm not so sure. Well, there's no permanent tag team action on the side of Jones's Rangers as Tommy Seaboat and War Eagle Chris Chavis working well. Excellent shot there from our director, Kurt Weintraub, and our executive director, Jeff Irwin. What is it, fourth cousin Price News?
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, excellent shot of that short arm you were talking about from Tex Salanger.
Yeah, Tex Salanger. We call it short arming in professional wrestling. A guy doesn't want to make the tag.
Look at here.
Look at that.
Force tag that is. No hand slap, just a touch of the bodies. Of course, any part of the body in professional wrestling that can touch, and that's all it takes for a tag. Right there, Tex Salanger certainly had no intentions whatsoever of helping out his tag partner, the U.S. male Curtis Thompson. And Thompson slapping him on the back.
I can understand why. I can see why Tex doesn't want to make the tag, because he is definitely on the ropes right now, as we'd say.
He certainly is. And boom, shot from the big man from Robinson County. Fell big Tex Salanger like one of them big old redwood trees.
Tex don't want to mess with Andy tonight. He already had a little run-in with him already tonight.
About a $2,000 run a couple 3 weeks ago, of course. You remember the controversial finish to the Battle Royal. Both men over the top rope at the same time. Had a winner-take-all event where it was Salanger against the War Eagle. Winner take the $2,000 purse, and War Eagle made the big deposit.
Of course, you hear the man in the corner there yelling Tex, Tex, Tex. Curtis Thompson wanted to make a tag. Tex, of course, wishing he could.
Well, you know, in professional wrestling, in tag team wrestling, it is critical that your teams think alike. As you're seeing that right now from Chavis and Seaboat, as they make the tag, they exploit that 5 seconds between the tag and the time you need to be out of the ring. And with Salanger and Thompson not getting along, this could really be a problem. Look at this, the boot up. Well, look at the look on Salanger's face. I got it, he says. There's not going to be any cooperation between these two.
Got him very high up. for the suplex. Down he goes. Tex better make a tag, because right about now, this is when he needs to make a tag. Tex has recuperated a little bit, but not completely.
Right now, it is a handicap-type match as Tex Salanger is taking on both Tommy Seaboat and War Eagle Chris Chavis. Of course, as long as they can keep Seaboat in the ring, this is not a major problem. Finally, there's the tag.
Now he's happy.
You know, Coach, we should tag every... When you were a tag team wrestler for the majority of the year for the world, secret with constant tags in and out.
In and out, in and out, in and out.
You reviewed the tape and some of the things that you kept the middle and kept statistics on was the number of tags of your team versus the number of tags.
That's right. I can get a little bit of a rest out on the outside of the ring, tagging in and tagging out. It's 2 men on 1. You want to take a 2-man on 1. That's your whole objection.
That's it with U.S. male. Curtis Thompson right now taking a little shortcut, adding some weight to that rear chin lock, putting his feet up on the rope, 257 pounds, and that little bit of extra advantage. And you can see Tommy Seaboat writhing in pain right now. Referee out of position.
Everybody asks me, says, what does that really do to you? Well, in high school wrestling, if you're wrestling a man with a half Nelson trying to pin him, I know you've seen a lot of times in high school wrestling, the coach always tells his men to stay on your toes, stay on your toes. That puts pressure on the man's chest, because there's no ropes to put on, so you stay on your toes. Just imagine the amount of pressure by lifting your feet a good 2.5 feet in the air, the pressure that goes down the chest.
Exactly, that pressure, that weight that would have been on your toes or on your knees is transformed or transposed over onto your opponent, so that not only is Tommy Seaboat carrying his 230-plus pounds, but he's also required to fight the weight of the U.S. male Curtis Thompson. And when you have a well-conditioned athlete like Tommy Seaboat or Curtis Thompson or any of these athletes for that matter, the fact is that you need that extra, you need to wear them down quicker, and that's what that is for. Good point made, Coach.
Believe me, that weight does wear you down, because you need every bit of the air you can possibly suck in.
Well, there's no short arm tag there, as you saw Big Tex Salanger standing on the bottom rope, reaching over the top, yelling, tag me, tag me. But the U.S. male Curtis Thompson certainly not looking for any kind of tag right now.
So that's just like Tex. While the advantage is there, he wants to make the tag.
Personally, when I was wrestling, I didn't see much wrong with that either. As over top, Tommy Seaboat, boom, big knee in the stomach. Seaboat had the momentum built up, going to set him for the big, looked like a cross body block. Oh, look at this. Look at this, teasing the big man about the tag.
This is definitely going to cause a few problems after the match in the dressing room, I guarantee you.
Well, Salanger keeps looking over his shoulder off camera. I'm sure the Tennessee stud, although I can't see it from our vantage point, I'm sure the Tennessee stud is watching very, very closely this match, Coach.
You know he is. He's back there, and he's probably irate right now. He's not coming out because he's been admonished by the officials to stay out of this match. Don't be bothering anybody. And if he comes out there, I'm sure there'll be some fines levied.
Certainly will, with a front face lock right now, and I can't see from the camera position, but a front face lock. And there's a tag, just like the one we saw earlier, Big Tex Salanger reaching out.
Monkey see, monkey do, Frank.
Well, I'll tell you, that is not exactly the most fluid tag team I've seen in a long time, Coach.
And of course, when you're applying a hold on somebody and you've got him, you want to make the tag, you want to make the decision to tag out. You don't want somebody tagging in.
Double chicken wing right here, double underarm suplex, I should say. Boom, and down goes Tommy Seaboat. Talking about tags right now. The freshman, 270-plus pounds outside the ring. War Eagle, Chris Chavis. And right now, Seaboat definitely needs to make that.
Now, Tex right there had a move on the man. Could have made the pin, but just laid on him, and that's not pin move. He's supposed to go for the pin.
Well, did you see that? There's a tag me, and Salanger says, you see a tag, and he held up in front of him and hit him in the hip. He's taunting his own partner. I'll tell you, I do not understand. I understand that some of what's causing this is a lot of emotion and a lot of egos involved. I don't understand the Tennessee stud Robert Fulton allowing this team to go out there.
Well, I guess he's hoping they'll come together as a team. Adversity will make them come together as a team. But this right here just causing more and more problems. This ego is going out of sight.
Well, I've always heard that adversity makes strange bedfellows, and we certainly have strange bedfellows here in Curtis Thompson and Tex Salanger. Salanger into the corner. Nobody home. Tommy Seaboat, the young man from Tampa, Florida, now living up around Greensboro, able to move, and Seaboat needs to make that tag. Here it comes. There's the tag, and here comes the War Eagle, Chris Chavis. And there goes the
Curtis shoves down.
There went the U.S. male Curtis Thompson. Where did he go?
Well, he's not in the ring right now, and of course, Tex Salanger's in big trouble.
See if we can get a camera over. There it is. What?
He's sitting back watching the match.
Curtis Thompson has left the ringside and is sitting there talking with one of the security guards and watching the match. I do not understand what has happened at all, because right now Tex Salanger definitely needs help. Well, maybe Tex Salanger doesn't definitely need help.
Well, I think that right there is a prime example. See Curtis sitting there. He is fed up.
I think
so you want to wrestle? Yeah, you want to wrestle? Wrestle by yourself. Go right ahead. Take the match. Do what you want to with it.
Oh, now it really is a handicap match now. Tex Salanger is having to take on Curtis War Eagle Chavis and Tommy Seaboat.
And of course, both men have recovered completely. Tex is still a little worn down because he's not had a break in a while.
He certainly hasn't, and he looks like he's not going down. Here comes the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller. This could spell problems right here.
Yeah, he pushes him away and walks off. There's problems in the old household.
Oh, there are definitely problems in the stud stable household right now. As there goes the U.S. male Curtis Thompson to the dressing room, past the Pit Bulldogs. Meanwhile, in the ring, Tex Salanger just being abused by Tommy Seaboat and the War Eagle Chris Chavis. And I don't know, is the U.S. male coming back or what? I mean, I'm totally perplexed.
I just don't believe so. I think he's fed up. And you can see a great tag team combination there. In and out, in and out. They're using what ability they have now to do the right thing.
Not to take anything away from Seaboat and Chavis, but any tag team would be great in this situation, unless, of course, the third man in the ring was Andre the Giant or something.
Well, now, I'll tell you what, if you've beaten a team bad enough that you can split them up, you've definitely become a better tag team.
Well, this team apparently had problems from the onset, and right now they have major problems as the U.S. male Curtis Thompson has left the ringside. Not only left the ringside, he has left the entire arena area and has gone to the dressing room, and Chavis and Seaboat just taking turns abusing the big man from West Texas. Finally, the pin, 2, 3. Salanger unable to defend himself. Your winners, Tommy Seaboat and the War Eagle Chris Chavis. Unbelievable action. I mean, he just was unable to defend himself at this point, and nobody to tag to. There should have been a tag made 3 or 4 minutes ago. Boom! Seaboat not happy with what's going on. He's going to add a little extra punishment to the big man from West Texas.
This looks like to me there's a little bit of payback going on here.
Looks like a whole bunch of payback going on here, Phil.
Frank, I'm going to go back to the dressing room and check on and see what's going on here, because these people right here have got to understand that something is going on. I want to find out what Curtis Thompson's up to. I may not find out today, but we'll be back and let you know all about that.
Well, right now in the ring is Coach Gene Liggins leaving me here. I'm not sure. We'll keep the cameras rolling. Jeff, keep the cameras rolling. I'm not sure what's going on here. I do recognize the superplex. War Eagle Chris Chavis with the superplex off the top. 300 plus, almost 600 pounds crashing down. Seaboat with a dive over. Holy mackerel. They are trying to put this man out. They are definitely trying to put this man out. You saw the superplex. That in itself is a finishing move on a small man, on a man over 300 pounds. That can be devastating. As they continue to put the boots down, finally, Iron Richards trying to call off the dogs, but Seaboat and Chavis, they have added insult to injury, and I do mean injury because Tex Salanger has not moved. You hear Chavis hollering out at the stud, who's over in the corner of the arena right now, watching in disbelief. He is hollering because right now, and here they finally come, the stud stable, the Pit Bulldogs, the Tennessee stud, Robert Fuller, worried about their fallen comrade, and Fuller is just irate. And Tex Salanger is down and down hard.
I tell you what, Frank, I just got back from the dressing room and things are definitely going on back there. And I'll tell you what, Tex Salanger is hurt. They've got a big confrontation back and back. Frank, you need to go check on Tex and see how things go. She can get a story out.
Let me see if I can do that right now.
I'll tell you something right now. This match has been absolutely one of the roughest matches I've seen. Let's go to slow motion, and we'll be right back with the Fantastic.
You saw these two men, Bobby and Jackie Fulton, the Fantastics, as they took on the Pit Bulldogs and did something very few teams have ever done, got the 1, 2, 3. But you also had something happen to you that's happened to many teams before, and that's that dastardly deeds done after the bell.
You know, I want to tell you something right now. My brother, I'll tell you, it brought a tear to my eye. Watching this tape, and the people are going to get a chance in just a second to see it for themselves. It wasn't just tied in the corner like usual. They tried to hang him. They tried to end his career. The people are going to see this right here on this tape. Isn't that right, Jack? That's right. You know, every time I step into the ring, I try my best to win the match. But I have never, ever tried to end anyone's career. And that's what they did to me. I've been in this sport for only a year and a half. I've been to a lot of places, met a lot of great people because of this sport. And it was almost ended because of you, Bulldogs.
Right now, let's turn the clocks back 1 week and see the Fantastics versus the Pitt Bulldogs. Right here, right now. Back at ringside, main event action. Coach Gene Liggett with Frank Dusick, and the Pitt Bulldogs solidly in control right now over the Fantastics.
The Fantastics, of course, fighting, ever so fighting. A bear hug on him. It's a very powerful move. Try to take all the wind out of the man who's wrestling.
Well, that's exactly right. Of course, we've talked about it, Coach. The difference in the styles of wrestling. And right now, you are seeing the Pitt Bulldogs game plan working in favor of the Pitt Bulldogs. They have slowed the pace of the match down. Now they're taking away the aerial moves. They're taking away the speed. They're going to sprint, strength, and percussion moves, Coach.
That's right. You're seeing two classic styles, opposing views on how to wrestle. Of course, the Fantastics with their speed and endurance against the power and strength of the Bulldogs.
The only real similarity that I see in these two teams, and this, again, is just my opinion, but the only two real similarities I see in these teams are in the level of enthusiasm, the level of excitement. Both are very emotional teams and wrestle very emotionally. The Bulldogs, of course, they create their own emotion among themselves, but the Fantastics, they feed on the emotions of the people.
Yeah, they draw the excitement from the crowd, and that gets them all going. Here he comes.
Now, here comes Jackie Fulton. It's Jackie Fulton. The tag was made, and the Pitt Bulldogs being sent in all directions by Jackie Fulton. Fulton, spinning kick. Big Rex down on the floor. Spike sent into the ropes by Jackie Fulton. Boom! Backdrop on Spike, and Jackie Fulton taking both the South Atlantic Tag Team Champions on.
All 4 men in the ring now. They're going to whip them off here.
Reversal of one. Boom! Fulton and Rex there. Spike hit together. Coach, I'm all confused. We got, what is that, Spike and Jackie Fulton outside the ring. Rex and Bobby Fulton inside the ring. I know Byron Richards has lost control of this match. Oh, boy, you got it. 1, 2, 3. Thought it was 3, Coach.
Well, the problem here, Frank, is that Jackie is the legal man in the ring. Bobby's not. I don't know what they're confused. Last time I saw it, there's a tag, wasn't there? And Jackie.
You're right. You're exactly right. The legal man inside the ring.
Look at here.
Suplex. No, who's got the suplex? The Bulldogs got the suplex, but he's totally unaware of Jackie Fulton's on the top rope. Rex has got the Fulton with a splash across the top. 1, 2, 3.
That's right.
They called it, Coach. The winners, the Fantastics, Bobby and Jackie Fulton. Holy mackerel! I don't know how in the world you kept track of all that, but Jackie Fulton was definitely the legal man. Came crashing off the top rope, and they have beaten the Pitt Bulldogs for the second time.
Here they are going at it. A little action after the matches. Of course, this is uncalled for. There will be some fines levied right now. The match is over.
The match is definitely over, but right now the Pitt Bulldogs going to take a little bit of punishment. They're going to extend a little bit of punishment because of what happened. They do not like getting beat. No one in the stud stable does. As Bobby Fulton is now tied up with that collar and chained in the corner, helpless. And Jackie Fulton now being attacked from behind. And the Bulldogs in a 2-on-1 situation. And Bobby Fulton and Jackie Fulton in bad shape right now.
They got that collar around his neck there, Frank.
This is the skull dragging. Look at this, Coach. He's hanging him. Holy mackerel.
My gosh.
Oh, no.
Somebody come down and help him.
Oh, no. Jackie Fulton being hung by the neck. Being hung by the neck with a chain. The Bulldogs. This is by far the worst edition of skull dragging. And now he's pulling on him. Holy mackerel.
There's definitely some fines, Frank. I'm making a protest right now to you. I agree. About this.
I agree. Bobby Fulton chained in the corner, only now beginning to get free. Brother Jackie being hung and stretched and pulled by the Pitt Bulldogs. Now, finally, Bobby getting to his feet. He's got a chain of his own, but the Pitt Bulldogs are nowhere to be found as they have scampered back off to the pound. Let's go to a commercial.
Everyone just saw that tape of what happened to me for the second time. They put that collar around my neck, threw me over the top rope. I can't go 1 minute of the day. I can't sleep one night without thinking about you Bulldogs, about what you did in my neck, putting that collar around my neck and throwing me over the top rope. I tell you, you've gone too far, because we're coming after you this time. You know, I want to say this right now. It was touching. My brother saved my neck, and see what happened to him. Well, let me tell you right now, forget the titles, brother. It's an all-out war because, you know, let me tell you something. Blood is thicker than water. Blood is thicker than the stable. Blood is thicker than the Pitt Bulldogs. Brother, we're coming to kick tail and take names. And like I said, you can bring the belts on down because we're not worried about them. The only thing we're worried about is front. Brother, fantastic style. You guys bring it on because, like I said, it's not going to be very pretty. We're not here to win any beauty contest. We're just coming to kick tail and take names.
The Fantastics against the Pit Bulldogs. We'll be back with the Pit Bulldogs right after this. Gene Liggett and these Pit Bulldogs, Rex and Spike, Coach, have more than got their work cut out for them because Bobby and Jackie Fulton, the Fantastics, have sure set their sights, not on the titles, but on the men.
That right there should worry any tag team because they're not even worried about beating them to the title. They have one thing in mind, one thing only, and that's to hurt them.
That's exactly right. Of course, that's merely retribution or revenge, I should say, for what has happened because in two meetings, the Fantastics both times have had their hands raised, but both times, first time it was just a simple skull dragging. The second time was a lynching by the Pit Bulldogs of Jackie Fulton. Put that chain around him. Well, you fans just saw it. Put that chain around his neck, threw him over the top rope, and literally hung Jackie Fulton. And as we were talking about during the break, Coach, if it weren't for the conditioning of Jackie Fulton, the upper body strength, it could have been a very, very serious injury.
Yeah, this is totally uncalled for, and of course, I know, Frank, you don't like seeing anything like that. Of course, the Pit Bulldogs have got to be, they're bullies of the ring right now. They've got to be slapped in the face and let them show that they cannot do these things and get away with it.
Well, they have that Pit Bulldog mentality. That mentality is ladas, toujours ladas, attack, always attack. They never take a backward step. And, you know, you just, they're like a bull in a china shop. And eventually you're going to break the glasses of the wrong man. He's going to come step on the tails.
Yeah, you know, Superman wore glasses.
Yeah.
You don't want to break glasses of Superman. Of course, Clark Kent might not mind, but Superman will get hot.
Talking about getting hot right now. Oh, did you see that? Over the top and a knee to the back, and that just took the starch out of Butch Malone. And now here goes psychotic Spike to work on the young man from Columbia, South Carolina. Spike, a series of crashing blows down across the chest.
Butch Malone, of course, in very bad disarray right now. That shot to the back there, you think, well, I've seen men get hit in the back harder. That's when you're not expecting it.
And that was the point I was going to say. It wasn't so much it's like a blind side in football. A lineman gets hit a lot harder head on, but it's that blind side when you're not looking for it. He hit those ropes expecting to recoil off and caught that point of the knee right in the kidneys, and now it's Big Rex going to work. And certainly Butch Malone needs to tag his partner, Robert Campbell.
That lower back is in very bad trouble right now. Butch Malone trying to make the tag, a little short there. Of course, another big forearm to the back as the Pit Bulldogs keep going back to the back. Right to it.
Back to the back is right. Percussion blows, a series of them. Oh, we've seen that thing done many, many times. That slingshot over the top. I'm not exactly sure what you call it, but they shoot him in, make the tag, and Spike is just slingshot over the top rope. Big shoulder block. And all you saw was the soles of Butch Malone's feet as he was just taken down right off his feet.
I tell you, hitting that high in the air, just flying through the air with your own body force, but being slingshot by those ropes can cause a tremendous amount of force from throwing your body. As you saw, the man flew in the air about 6 feet.
He sure did, and right now it is the Pit Bulldogs in control. This is the type of strategy that they're going to need to use against the Fantastics. You know, the Fantastics, and we've talked about it, and I think it bears mentioning again and again and again, the contrasting styles of these two teams. The Fantastics, they exploit the aerial moves, they exploit their speed, they exploit their quickness, whereas the Pit Bulldogs keep both feet on the ground, depend on strength, and as you said, bullies of the ring. That is their whole strategy in wrestling, a classic confrontation of speed versus strength.
Well, the Pit Bulldogs are definitely got one style. Of course, they're like a running game in football. A running game is good if you can run, but you got to have that pass occasionally to loosen up that defense. And right now, they've had their way because no one can stop the run. They're just running through people.
They're running right through them or running right over them one way or another. Of course, when you're backed up by Tex Salanger, the Tennessee stud Robert Fuller, and a host of others, I guess you could say backed up by the U.S. male Curtis Thompson, although that seems to be a point of contention right now, a bone of contention right now. But when you got those people behind you, that helps you run over people as well.
I believe Curtis Thompson, if he's backing him up, the male might have got returned because he is definitely not a part of the group right now. I just don't believe that they're going to work this thing out at all.
I don't don't know. Of course, a lot remains to be seen whether or not they're going to work that out. Also remains to be seen what is the status of Tex Salanger. You know, he was prone in the middle of the ring when Chavis and Seaboat left, and he was helped from the arena by the Pit Bulldogs and Robert Fuller. I went back during one of the intermissions to try to talk to him, and the door was shut in my face. So I don't know what the situation is right now with Tex Salanger. I do know that they brought the EMT and the medics in to look at him, which is standard procedure, of course. That doesn't mean anything, but it does raise a question in the story of Tex Salanger.
He might have a few rib problems. The amount of elbows he took from those young men, and there were an awful lot of elbows. I was very surprised at the amount of ferocity these men had. The man was beaten. They kept on hitting him. I guess sometimes it just gets away with it.
It seemed like the snap. It just seemed like they just get cautioned away. Speaking of snapping, right now the Pit Bulldogs are the winners, as here they go to work now. The Pit Bulldogs, Robert Campbell coming in to check on his partner. Robert Campbell obviously not knowing the reputation of the Pit Bulldogs as they send Robert Campbell to the floor, and now they go to work on young Butch Malone. And Butch Malone in a world of problems right now as he has both Pit Bulldogs going at him. Coach, here comes the chain. I think we're getting ready to see another skull dragging. Oh, I hate to see this. I wish there was some way to stop this. The chain around the neck, and here they go, dragging Butch Malone like a lump of meat, like a dog who's killed another, and dragging him by the collar. They are dragging him around the ring. Oh, I hate to see this. They're going to tie him in the corner. Look at here. Here come the Fantastics. It's Bobby and Jackie Fulton. There's not going to be a skull dragging today. The Fantastics hit the ring, and war has erupted again. Fantastics and Bulldogs.
There they are. They're whipping them off, Frank. Big high back drop. Another high back drop.
And right now, the Fantastics have said enough's enough. You heard them earlier in the interviews. They said they don't care about the titles. They don't care about anything but revenge. And they're after revenge right now. You don't see any wrestling here. All you see is kicks and punches. It looks like a barroom brawl, Coach. They're calling around, throwing kicks, throwing punches, biting. It's like a barroom brawl and not a wrestling match.
That's right. As Big Bill Ward used to say on Channel 3 out of Charlotte back in 1968, it's a Pierce Sixer.
It truly is a Pierce Sixer. It looks like the Fantastics are coming out on top of this Pierce Six brawl. Here's Bobby sending Spike to the ropes. Boom! A shot to the stomach. Rex and Jackie are still tied up. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to take a break right now. Let us tell you how you can bring the excitement of South Atlantic Championship Wrestling right into your hometown, and then we'll be back with more. Attention members of civic groups, high school booster club, or any organization needing money. Ask yourself this: did your last fundraising event leave the community on its feet cheering with excitement? Did your group's last fundraising event bring television stars watched every week by millions of fans nationwide right into your hometown for everyone to meet? 6 months from now, will your neighbors still be asking you what your group plans its next fundraising event? If the answer to this or any of these questions is no, then you need to put the power of this television station and America's #1 spectator sport, professional wrestling, to work for you. For more details about this dynamic and unique fundraising opportunity, call me, Frank Dusick, at 704-365-1002. Or write South Atlantic Pro Wrestling in care of local sponsor program, P.O. Box 221269, Charlotte, North Carolina 28222. Don't miss it. Be there.
Bulldogs, that's it. That's it. We're putting a stop to it. You know, I want to tell you something right now. That's right. You're never going to do it again. You came out there, you tried to hurt another guy, just like you did my brother. Well, Frank, Gene, all South Atlantic, I want the championship committee to check on this. Because, hey, Bulldogs, we're putting an end to it. That's right. We proved we can put you down for the 1, 2, 3. We proved that we can kick your tails all over the ring. Well, here's one thing that's guaranteed. You can run, but you can't hide. Because we're sticking around South Atlantic for a long, long time. And, hey, the Fantastics will prevail. And let me tell you this, Bulldogs, you ain't never seen a pretty sight what's going to happen to you coming up. Just be prepared. That's right. It's over.
Well, folks, it's a long ways from over. This is Frank Dusick for Coach Gene Liggins saying border to border and coast to coast. Wherever you see South Atlantic Championship Wrestling, you know it's the organization with the most. Don't miss it. Be there.